They say hunting is in your blood. But what if you're just winging it? Justin's the middle-aged rookie with a new passion for hunting and an even newer bird dog. Erik, he's the guy who actually knows what he's doing. Most of the time. If you're into hunting, bird dogs, or just watching a guy learn the hard way, you're in the right place. Welcome to Upland Underdog.
We are 4 episodes deep now in the Upland Underdog podcast, Erik.
Yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine. I've never imagined being on a podcast, and now I'm on the 4th episode. So that's pretty fun. Thank you.
Well, no, thank you. I having you as a co-host is something that I needed for this podcast in a lot of ways, because you do not identify yourself as an expert in hunting or
By no means.
or anything like this. However, you are someone with years and years of experience. So having the juxtaposition of Johnny new guy and Erik, who's not an expert but Johnny old guy, is no offense, is a good thing to have. I think for folks to understand that I'm going to say dumb stuff, and you might say dumb stuff even, because there's more we can both learn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to learn all the time, not just in hunting, but generally every day try to learn something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be great to learn something just from your perspective, like how you see things. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and that takes us to today's episode where I wanted to talk about gear. I've mentioned in prior podcasts that I am getting into an expensive hobby with adult money.
Yeah,
that is not the luxury everyone has, but the good news is you don't have to have the most expensive stuff or even expensive stuff or even semi-expensive stuff to get into the hobby and enjoy yourself.
No, I mean, you can get in relatively cheap if you want. You don't have to have all perfectly matching camo, and you don't have to have the most expensive shotgun. You can get in for relatively cheap. I mean, ammo's going to cost you what it's going to cost. That's right. That's for everybody, regardless of how much money you're playing with. But yeah, you can get in for cheap, and if you can figure out a way to stay warm, depending on what you're hunting, that's a big thing. So
yeah, for those that may not know, hunting takes place primarily over the winter.
Yep.
So it's no matter what you're going to hunt, you're going to be needing warm clothes.
Yeah, for the most part. Yep. Unless it's coyote, you can do that year round.
So we have the experience of going deer hunting together. Yep. I have that as my only experience. Before then, I went out and I bought the gear that I needed for deer hunting. Mm-hmm. We mentioned it was not a sling for my rifle. I do have one now. The other thing was a camo coat and camo pants, or camo suspenders, I should say, insulated, both of them, and they're both waterproof. So those things I have worn to shovel snow since then. They are great. They are fantastic. They do the job, and they're from Walmart.
They're warm. That's the important thing. I mean, I'm not going to a fashion show. I'm going to a place where I can blend in, and I want to stay warm if I'm going to stay out there all day. So
I don't remember the exact cost, but I want to say for both the coat and the suspenders that were both insulated and waterproof, it was somewhere around $130, $140, which not the end of the world for that. And will some of it translate over to duck hunting? I'm sure. I might want a less puffy coat for duck hunting for moving around a little bit more. But I think that what I've got can serve me for multiple purposes at a good price. And again, is that $150? Yes, $150 is what it is. But when you look at the price of other brands,
if you go into a Kuiu or a Sitka gear, I mean, $150 is just going to be your base layer. I mean, it's going to go up really
maybe
fast.
Some gloves.
Maybe. Yes, you can spend a lot of money on a lot of gear, but if you gear up correctly, you don't have to spend the highest dollar amount. You can still get the same results.
Yeah, taking that into consideration when you're like me and getting everything brand new. Because I have nothing. I'm starting with nothing. You have, over the years, acquired some things here and there from family and friends.
Yeah, I was my uncle still hunts regularly, still goes out west to hunt elk. I mean, he's 82 years old. I mean, he's still into it. So he's passed things along so that I didn't have to buy, which is nice. I mean, if I would buy them, would I buy the same rifle? No. But it was given to me, and now it's going to be, at some point when he passes along, like, this is the rifle my uncle gave me. I mean, then there's a story. So, yeah, it's the hand-me-down stuff is nice, but having to buy everything new, it can get expensive fast.
It can. I'm doing it in the best way that I can, which is spreading it out and only buying the things that are necessary, even if they happen to come with that cost. So I'm not going out and buying things that I don't need. I'm asking for things I don't need for Father's Day, and I got one.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm not going out and buying things just to buy them. I'm not trying to be, I forget what they're, people might see me as one too. I was like, I forget what they're called. Like, I don't want to be just like dressing like a hunter.
No.
And playing the part or
you don't
cosplaying.
You're not posing to be out there.
Right.
You're trying to get clothes that serve a purpose.
Yep.
Or other gear that serve a purpose. And it doesn't have to, like I said, it doesn't have to be the top of the line. But if it keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, those are important in my book.
Exactly. And so some of the things that I have acquired since starting. So you have to have Blaze Orange.
Yep.
Got that. Got my vest and got a ski cap or whatever the hell.
Beanie.
Yeah, whatever people call them. So I've got one of those, as you're legally required to have both. And then outside of that, I got gloves when I got my pants and whatnot. And I already had hiking boots. I think those work perfectly fine for someone like me who doesn't want to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on a pair of waterproof boots. I technically already had one. Now, they're not as high as they probably could be or should be, but they're above my ankle and they're waterproof because I use them for hiking. So I'm able to repurpose those.
Yeah, and the only other thing, I mean, if you don't want to spend for insulated boots, you can buy electric socks or you can buy wool socks. Like you can offset some of the gear and still stay warm and dry. That's really what it comes back to.
Yep. So to get out there and hunt the very first time with you, I believe it was an initial investment of right around $1,000. But that includes my rifle and ammo and all that fun stuff that is required to do it. And again, not everybody needs to spend as much as I spent on my first rifle. Not everybody's going to need to even buy a rifle.
Yeah.
So if you've got family and friends, maybe they'll take you out to the range. Maybe they'll say, and you offered to do that, by the way.
Absolutely.
You said, I'll let you say how many.
I've got a couple.
A couple. Eric's got a couple. So one of those couple, he's like, you can borrow this and we'll just go together. I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I don't want to do stuff half-assed because I know myself. I was going to get a rifle.
You're going to do it no matter what.
No matter what, eventually. So you offered to let me have it. And there's folks out there that might be listening that say, you know what? I do have a friend that goes. I bet they have more than one. What if I ask them? Ask them to take you to the range first. Get yourself comfortable with a firearm if it's your first time shooting one, 100%.
Absolutely. And have them, you went to a safety class specifically for your type of rifle.
I did. I told it was part of the deal with my wife of getting the rifle. She said, I'm okay with you spending this money and owning this, but you have to learn as much as you can about it because you have not shot this kind of gun before. And I said, you're right, and I will.
But if you don't have the extra funds to do that, but you know somebody, go with them to the range. Let them... Hopefully they're doing the things that are correct for safety.
Yes.
And if you're at like the conservation department where we go, there's somebody that oversees. And if you're not doing things to their safety standards, they'll help you along the way. You get a couple of strikes before they tell you to go home, but they want to make sure everybody goes home safe. So
that's the most important thing that I've learned is everyone talks about gun safety, but practicing it is not a full-time job. Whenever I'm holding a rifle at the range, I am meticulous about the steps that I take because I know that I'm holding something that can hurt someone very badly, including myself if it's not figured out right. Yeah. Every time I do all the steps. When I took my dad recently to go shoot a rifle for the first time, he had a blast, by the way.
That's awesome.
He's in his 60s and he'd never shot a rifle before.
That's so cool. That's a cool experience to have that with your dad.
Yeah, it was. It's
really
kind of the opposite of how it typically goes. Dads take their sons to the range, and then here I am taking my dad.
But if he had nobody take him,
exactly,
you changed. The chain had to be broke somehow, so nobody took him. So it's really cool. That's awesome. That in a weird way, I'm part of that because I'm like, hey, do you want to go hunt? Do you want to go shoot?
Exactly.
And now you got your dad doing it
because we talked about this before. All it takes is an invitation.
Yeah.
And again, this is zero to do with my brother-in-law or my father-in-law or anybody else. But my wife's husband, brother-in-law, he grew up hunting. When he heard I got a rifle and was going to go hunting, he goes, how come you didn't ask me? And then I was over at the in-laws for Thanksgiving, and they were looking at Black Friday gun sales. And they're like, Justin, when are you going to get a gun? I said, I already got one. They're like, what? What kind of gun did you get? When did that happen? They were like offended because they're all hunters. My wife's family is all hunters. Her brother's hunters, her stepdad hunter, everybody in the whole family, cousins, aunts, everybody hunts. And nobody ever asked me to go.
It's crazy to me. I like to share things with my friends, with things that I like, or introduce you. You don't have to like it, but here's something that I'm into.
Yeah. And again, this is zero this says nothing about them as people. This just said, hey, look at this yuppie, because, I grew up in the city and I'm a city boy. And I never said, you know what? I love hunting. I should go sometime. If they would have heard me say that, I guarantee they would have invited me. Hands down. Yeah. I just never said that because I wasn't thinking that I was... Well, I kind of felt like I could be stepping on their toes with something that they all do.
I can see that.
And with my brother-in-law, it was just... I wasn't going to be... I'm sorry, when I say that, I mean not my brother-in-laws who hunt on my wife's side of the family, but my sister's husband. Mm-hmm. He said the same thing. How come Justin didn't ask me about going hunting or going to shoot skeet and stuff? I said, it's not about that. It's about I got invited by somebody, so I went.
Yeah, you weren't necessarily pursuing it. You didn't know what you didn't know until I asked. It was just, hey, do you want to try it?
Yeah.
I mean, let's check it out.
So yeah, and like I said, had I ever expressed interest, active interest, any one of them would have taken me. But I've learned since owning my first rifle and now shotgun, I ask all of my friends. I was like, hey, I'm doing this podcast soon. I've got this website because I'm having so much fun. And I didn't realize until after the age of 40 that this is a good hobby to have. Do you ever want to go shooting with me? And every single person I've asked that has not owned a gun or ever gone shooting said, I'd go. But 6 months ago, they never would have mentioned that to me.
No, well, if they don't own one, they don't necessarily know anybody that owns one. Like, it's not something that you just walk up and be like, hey,
yeah,
can I go shoot your gun? I'm trying to look at it from the other perspective of like, I want to shoot your gun. And then I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I'm like, hey, do you want to come with me? I'm happy to loan you whatever. That's a little different way.
Yep. So I believe if I had to guess, now I might be in the pipeline to receive some gear from either side of the family now.
There you go.
I'm not saying, because when I mentioned, they're like, oh, if you want to go hunt, we got this old rifle you could use. We got this old rifle. So the opportunities are there when you have friends and family. If you don't have friends and family, then you're going to have to buy new.
Yep.
Or go to a gun store and buy used.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have to buy something that's new to you. And the cost, you can buy a $300 shotgun. You can buy a $4,000 shotgun. Oh. Actually, you can buy a $30,000 shotgun.
Absolutely.
But,
yeah, you can get crazy if you want.
But if you are talking about an everyman type of shotgun, you can expect to spend, and I say everyman, you can go $300 up to $2,000.
Yeah. And
that would be like more, but $2,000's still in the low end.
I mean, you can do a Mossberg 500 pump for, I don't know what the exact price, because they've gone up since I purchased my first one. $300-400.
Yeah.
And it will do everything you need. You can drop it in the mud and it's still going to fire.
Yep.
It's not going to jam trying to cycle a shell like a semi-auto would. And at the end of the day, I mean, I know $400 is $400, but you're not dropping a $2,000 gun in the mud and being upset about it.
Exactly. Yep. So finding the right equipment is absolutely necessary. Getting the right equipment is absolutely necessary. So some of the things that I have that I like, don't like, have upgraded already from, let's chat through some of those things, because I know that you've got a lot more experience and have had a lot more gear than I have. But let's just start with some of the basics. So we talked about my shotgun on a different episode. We'll talk about it here. It's a Winchester SX4. And that
Fantastic gun, by the way.
It's a semi-automatic.
Fantastic gun.
All that means is that if I put in 2 shells and I can pull the trigger twice and it'll shoot twice.
Yep.
And it'll eject automatically. I don't have to pump anything to reload or eject a shell. Every time I'm pulling the trigger, a new round cycles in and goes out. Can I put more than 2 rounds in? Yes. When I hunt, I believe it's 3 rounds at a time.
3 max. Yeah, because without getting into the weeds, there's a tube that goes inside your choke tube that should limit the number.
Yep.
That has to be in there. 100%.
Yep. So, or you get in trouble.
Well, yeah. So typically when we're dove hunting, where I've gone in northern Missouri, they've been doing this same hunt every year for 50 years. It's an annual family dove hunt that I got invited to and been able to take people to. Well, every year the game warden knows this. So they check us every morning. All your paperwork has to be right. Your gun has to be right.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, he's just doing his job.
Exactly.
But if that limiter's not in there, you're getting a ticket.
I believe it. Yeah, they don't want people out there with 12 shots in their gun going bam, 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 missed that one, bam, bam, bam. It's no longer a sport.
It's not a sport.
It's not a hunt.
You're not harvesting at that point. You're literally just killing.
Yep. Same reason why when you have a rifle, your 10 rounds max.
I think it's 5. I believe it's 5. I mean, I don't want to ever put any, but yeah, I think if you're running a semi-automatic, I believe it's 5.
Yeah, they don't want you out there.
Yeah.
Getting Bambi with 40 shots at a time. So, but that's good. So yeah, that's the gun that I got. I don't see any reason to change that gun. I'll be using that gun for the foreseeable future for probably the next few years.
Oh, absolutely.
As my primary gun. with an asterisk. I do want to get a second gun. Now, why do I want a second gun? Because it's fun. But I have a 12-year-old daughter who we've taken shooting.
Yes.
Your 11-year-old son has gone shooting.
Yes.
We'll talk about him in a second.
Yeah.
And the time that we took them, my 12 gauge, your 12 gauge would not be good for.
No, it's not a good introduction to them.
No.
And it's like with Hazel. You're not going to shoot right over the top of her head the first time and scare her off. Like, why do that and push away something that they might enjoy?
Yep. So you would need a smaller gauge of a shotgun. So we'll talk about that in just a brief moment. But to stay on topic about the gear part of it, it is, I would like to get a 20 gauge. Mm-hmm. My father-in-law has been telling me a 28 gauge. Yep. I've been thinking 20 because I think 20 would be a fun gun for me, doable by my older child and my wife.
Yep.
And be the gun that I would say, if you want to go out shooting, come along. I have 2. And then I would just have it.
But I agree with that. But I've shot a 28 gauge as well. So it's a step down a little bit from a 20. It's a really fun gun to shoot because it doesn't kick even as much as a 20. But you have to be a lot more accurate because you're less BBs. It's it's a smaller size. So a 20 is a pretty versatile gun for if you're bringing somebody new with you that it's not going to beat them up and they'll still have a good chance of success.
Yeah. So aside from guns, we've talked about that. The other gear that I have and that we both have to have for something like this is ammo.
Yeah.
We typically buy the double A's?
Yep, Winchester double A's.
Winchester double A's, we buy those. They're the target loads. Yep. They're specifically for shooting skeet. And we talked about it before. It's about $100 a box before taxes.
$100 a case.
$100 a case with 10 boxes in a case.
Yep.
And then that's after taxes, $110, $150.
Yeah.
So when you're out shooting, it's $5 to shoot skeet. Plus you're taking 1 box every round. Mm-hmm. So it's $15 every time.
$15 a round.
I don't see, that's not the math I do. I tell my wife it's only $5 a round because that's what I pay when I go.
Well, yeah, that's how I do the same thing. So I spend $20 when we go. And she's like, oh yeah. She goes, what about ammo? Well, I already spent that money.
Yeah,
that's not the same.
We already had it.
It was on sale. You have to buy it when it's on sale.
So we do that. That's just a preference that I've had after shooting a couple different kinds. Mm-hmm. I like the I like the bang it has. I like the feeling it has. Yep. It's just I can tell a difference, which is insane to me because 6 months ago, if you said, can you tell the difference between shooting this shotgun shell and this shotgun shell? I'd say no. And now I can, and that's cool.
Well, 3,000 rounds is a fair amount of rounds.
It's a lot.
You learn a lot pretty quick.
So, and then outside of the ammunition, when you're going skeet shooting specifically, I'm just talking about skeet shooting now, you need to have hearing protection, eye protection, and a way to carry your shells around. Because you have 25 shells that you're going to go through at different stations. So you're traveling when you're walking. You don't want to have them just like in your pants pocket.
Yeah. But if you're on a budget, you can.
Sure.
But from convenience and comfortable, it's nice to have a pouch or some other place to put them and not walk around with them in your pockets.
Yep. So let's go to that real quick. So I am a baller on a budget. Mm-hmm. $20, I think it was, for a pouch. I got a pouch. You wear it like a belt. It's got a clip on it. And then you have on the side of your body, whatever you're comfortable having it on. You just drop your shells in that pouch. I keep mine in the box so it's nice and organized in there. Yeah. Some people just dump them in there.
I just dump them in. I like it disorganized.
So I have them in my pouch and I just reach in, load them. And then when we're done, since I have a semi-auto and the shells are going everywhere, I have to walk around and pick them all up, which is a pain in the butt. But yeah, I have a pouch. And then I recently upgraded that for Father's Day to a vest.
Yeah, same. So, I had a pouch that I'd gotten for a birthday, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, probably 15 at this point. It was fine. It's serviceable. But now that my son, 11, is wanting to shoot, well, I kind of had to hand that along. And then I got, for Father's Day, a vest as well. So.
Nice. Our wives communicate.
Yeah. They talked a lot.
So, vest or pouch?
So, outside of when it's 110 degrees, I'm going to say vest. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have, it's got some padding in the shoulder.
Yep.
Just not 20 anymore. So, I can still feel it. It doesn't hurt.
Sure.
But, I like how it fits. It's snug. It's nice. But when it's hot, man, the pouch is sweet.
Oh, when I took my vest off the other day, it was just, looked like I'd been swimming in that shirt I was wearing.
Yeah, it looked like I had a bra underneath because of my sweat lines from my vest. Because it was so, I think we went and it was 100 degrees or pretty close.
And we typically do 4 rounds. We did not do 4 rounds.
No, it was hot enough we couldn't do 4.
Yeah. In hunting and in building, you want a straight shooter. That's Midwest Stair Company, a custom stair builder right out of St. Louis that doesn't miss. From bold design to flawless finishes, they build stairs that hit the mark every time. Visit MidwestStairCompany.com and see why these guys are top of the flight. I would agree that I like the vest more. No particular reason that I can think of now, but like we've been talking about, if I have a friend that ever goes with me, now I have my vest and a pouch for them.
Yeah.
It's just another thing that I have. So do you need to have two of anything? No. If I was starting out, is a pouch absolutely fine? Yes. I think the vest I got was also Amazon for like $30 something. Not a lot of money. So it's $20 or $30,
Yep.
depending on what. And I honestly don't have a strong recommendation other than to say, I just feel like it's easier to, because with my belt, I have to retighten it every time and adjust it. With my vest, I just put it on, zip it up, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. And then I think my vest is a little bit bigger, so when it does get cooler and we're still hunting, then I can have that over the top of something thicker, not just a t-shirt.
Yep. So that's just the general thing. And then eyewear, hearing protection. I have links for the stuff on my website that I have. So people, there'll be links in the video, I'm sure too, of what we're talking about to tell you what I'm using. But it's just Walker is the brand of the glasses that I have with interchangeable. You can get them. They look like sunglasses, or you can use orange, yellow, or clear, I believe, are the things that come with it.
I think you have a red one too.
Okay. Might be red.
Yeah.
Might be red.
It's usually red, orange, yellow, clear, and then sunglasses. So black.
So yeah, so I have those. You have to have those when you're shooting on the range. You should probably wear those when you're out hunting too. Are there laws against that?
I don't know if that there's any rules where hearing and eye protection is required when you're hunting.
I'm curious now.
Now I know for anytime I'm bird hunting, I'm usually with plugs and sunglasses. I mean, dove season, it's September 1st. It still could be 100 degrees out, so I'm usually still in sunglasses only because the sun's usually pretty bright. But for deer, I typically don't wear hearing protection or any eye protection during deer hunting.
Okay. Well, yeah, and also when you're deer hunting, you're shooting how many shots?
One.
Hopefully one.
And a lot of times, if I'm by myself, I'm really not. But if I'm with other people, I think when we went, I did have it because if one of you shot next to me, I didn't want to be deaf.
Yeah.
But if I'm by myself, I usually don't.
Well, and then also the headphones that I have, I got a 2-pack because the whole idea is that I want my wife to be comfortable with having a gun in the home. So I've taken her to the range. I've taken her to shoot skeet. We've taken our wives to go shoot skeet.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, yours has shot skeet before.
Yeah,
I think she said she had.
Yeah, she has gone one other time, but same thing 15 years ago. It'd been a long time. She hadn't shot a gun in a really long time.
So yeah, we took our wives. So I had a 2-pack of the glasses. I had a 2-pack of the hearing protection for any time I wanted to take her to shoot the rifle or do skeet. And again, we're not talking about high dollar stuff. We're talking about Amazon.
Yep.
Just get it. Your hearing protection is a little bit different. It's something that I will one day upgrade to, but it's not necessary. We're talking about the necessary upgrades. What I recommend. Well, hearing protection is good, but
these were also hand me down from my uncle.
Oh, there you go.
He's 82 now. He doesn't hear well as it is, so he doesn't wear hearing protection at all. So this was what are they? They're Axel Ghost Extreme 2.0. So smaller. It's not the big headphone. Fits in my ear nicely.
I like that.
It's also Bluetooth capable, but it's also noise canceling.
Yes.
Same as our headphones. So, I mean, it's super nice. It's just small. I like the. If you look at I believe if you look at the website, there's a picture of me shooting skeet, and I have those in. So you have to look real close to see because they're pretty tiny.
Yeah. So. I like that they go in ear. I love my AirPods. Side note: Hazel ate my left AirPod the other day.
Oh, nice.
So that's cool. Costing me more money.
Well, I had Beats for instead of an AirPod, but the small ones that go over the ear. Yeah. So anybody that is, where did we just come back from? Anybody in Long Beach that gets in a Ford Explorer, please look in the door panel. They're there.
Okay, got it.
So they're still in California.
Isn't it great? So hearing protection, again, I will upgrade eventually because I do like the in-ear style versus the out-ear. But the noise enhancing, noise canceling, which are what mine are too, if you remember to turn them off, the batteries last a long time. If you don't, you have to replace the batteries every time you go to the range, which is what I did for the first 3 trips.
Yeah, see, mine are USB charged. So there's no battery, but then I got to remember to plug them in.
Exactly, yep.
So if I remember when I get home to plug them in, they're usually charged. So
perfect.
But I usually don't remember. So.
All right, so we talked about going to the range, and we talked about a little bit about going into the field in terms of the things that you have to have from a gear perspective. I'm going to switch a little bit to something I used for training myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about a laser bore sight. So when I got my rifle, you already had a similar rifle that you had a laser sight for to help me dial in the optic on it.
Yeah, just to get us on paper.
And then
And for what anybody, if you're not sure what I mean by that, typically when we were sighting in the rifle, we'll start at 25 yards. You'll set up your scope. I'll bore sight it and shoot, and that's where we start our adjustments. But we want to be at least on paper to find a distance to start making adjustments.
Yep.
So that's what I meant.
So I borrowed that from Eric for my rifle. I liked it. And then I'm a YouTube guy. I need to learn something, and YouTube has great videos. Some of them aren't great. Mine are great. You should always watch mine. But I found a guy who talked about inserting a tiny mag light, tiny enough to fit inside a 12-gauge barrel, and pointing it at the ceiling and following along where the ceiling meets the wall. Mm-hmm. Because if you can start in the left corner and go to the right, and vice versa, then you're already a step up in skeet. You're just tracing a straight line across the way, and you're getting used to swinging your gun and aiming your gun. Pointing your gun, your shotgun, where it needs to go.
Yep.
You don't aim a shotgun, you point a shotgun. That's what I've been told. The sight or the bead of your shotgun is there for a reference point, but you generally should be pointing it where you want things to go, not aiming it. That's why you use two eyes. That's why you don't use one eye. You don't shoot it like a rifle.
That's why you're swinging and not stopping, because it's pointing in the general direction. Yep. Aiming is typically at a stationary target.
Yes, because when you're shooting at a deer, you want to hit a section of that deer that's about yay big.
Yep.
And that's where you're aiming for. When you're shooting at a bird, you got BBs that are going.
Yeah, I want to hit the bird.
Yeah, exactly.
If I can hit the head, that's great, but I want to get it down to where at least to be able to retrieve it.
So what I got for the shotgun, after seeing that guy take a tiny little mag light and put it in there, I looked for a tiny little mag light. I bought a tiny little mag light because I'm a sucker. It wouldn't fit in my barrel.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure that if I would have taken my choke tube out, it might have. But I bought that, and I bought a laser bore sight at the same time, and I just been using the bore sight. And what
bore sight for the 12 gauge?
Mm-hmm, for the 12 gauge. Huh. And what that has done for me personally, and this is, I give credit to this technique that guy shared on his YouTube, and I modified it for me. I give credit to that for why I was able to step up my shooting so quickly. I went from 4 out of 25 my first time shooting to probably within less than a month getting 17, 18. Mm-hmm. And then since then, 19s to 21s most of the time. And the thing that I did was practice at home. Using that laser sight, I would do two different things. I would follow and trace the ceiling line like I was shown on there. So three things. The other thing I was doing is I would pick a spot in my house, in my living room, which is where I was after the kids went to bed, by the way. I would pick a spot and I would focus on it and then lift the gun and hope that the laser is right on it when I'm looking at it. So I'd pick a spot in my living room and just say, can I mount the gun? Because I was only practicing my mount. The first time we went, you said, you're going to fall over. Weren't you an athlete? Yeah. Do an athletic stance.
Yeah. Your weight was on your heels. You were backwards. And as soon as you're going to shoot, it's going to push you backwards.
And it did. A couple of times. Yeah. I was on my heels and I shot a gun and I went, whoa. Yeah.
It's funny to see a collegiate basketball player playing defense on his heels. So I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So with anything, you need an athletic stance when you're shooting. So that taught me a little bit about that. But mounting the gun, it was really hard for me. I don't know how else to put it. Whenever I mounted the gun, I just know it didn't feel right. I felt like I was doing a lot of this.
Yeah, your head.
And for those of you that aren't looking, I'm looking like I'm touching my ear to my shoulder just to be able to look down the barrel. And for me, if I didn't have that laser sight and wasn't doing those exercises in my room, my gun mount would still be not great. I feel like my gun mount is fine I can mount my gun now, and mount just means bring it up to my face and shoulder. I can mount my gun now the same way almost every time, and it's because of the reps I put in when I wasn't out shooting. So I really like the laser bore sight for that specifically. And the other thing, real quick on that, is I was told you mount the gun to your cheek, then your shoulder. You don't mount the gun to your shoulder. Because when you bring it up to your cheek and pull it back, it's going to be at the same spot every time. If you do it on your shoulder, you might have to...
Tipping your head over again.
You're going to be doing weird stuff. And then I also realized that I shouldn't be standing straight up and doing it. You should be leaning forward a bit because that helps the
athletic position.
Watching our kids shoot, we can talk about that again in a second. Watching our kids shoot for the first time and both of them doing all the wrong things that I know I did the first time was so eye-opening.
It looked identical. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say that as mean, but they did the exact thing that everybody does when you hold a shotgun for the first time. Like you're leaning back, and I can understand with the kids. Mm-hmm. It's heavier than they expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody does the same thing. They're leaning back and they're trying to hold it up. And you're making it harder. You're literally making it harder on yourself.
So yeah, the bore sight I think is the laser bore sight that I have. I think it's good for training.
Absolutely.
That's why I use it.
That's a great tool. I didn't well, obviously you heard, I didn't know that they had it, but when I started to learn to shoot, it was $2 at the range and shells weren't $10 a box. So, okay. I mean, I think I was out $6.
Yeah.
A round. So that was easier to swallow and go to shoot 4 rounds.
Oh, for sure. So what other hunting gear or bird gear do you have that you think was an equipment must have, or maybe just something you do have for the right occasion?
For birds, I really don't have a whole lot, and it's not anything because I need it depends on the weather's a big thing. So, I mean, I'm going to layer up differently depending on whether I'm hunting dove September 1st or I'm hunting it around Christmas. I'm definitely going to be dressed. I don't have anything that I would say this is my dove hunting gear. Okay. When it gets cold, it'll cross over to this is the gear I used to wear at work. I worked outside for 25 years.
Sure.
This is my warm or my cold weather gear. Well, that ends up now. That's my deer hunting gear. Because why am I going to rebuy a whole new set when I already have that I know is warm?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I really use for the skeet that we go shoot, and I can't think of anything else. I did get some dove decoys, a Mojo dove for Father's Day or Christmas. Yeah. I think I got Father's Day.
And I have one, but it's not a necessity. That's not a necessity, something. Nope. For dove, I mean, they're going to naturally go to food and water and cover. So, I mean, nature provides everything for you.
Yep.
So that it's nice. The decoys do help at times, but it's not a necessity at all.
Sure. And the other gear that I need that I don't need now, so I don't have it. So I don't have like a vest for going out and storing birds when I get them. I don't have like an upland vest, essentially.
Does your shooting vest have a pouch in the back?
I don't know.
Because mine, if you go through...
Hey, I'm trying to get a... Don't say I can repurpose that, because I want to buy one. I'll tell my wife that I can use that. But anyway, go on. Go on. If I didn't want to buy one, what could you think that...
Well, the one I have, in particular...
Yours is Browning, right?
Yes. I was slightly bummed on that, but that's
mine's, I don't know. It's just $30.
Nothing against Browning, but I think mine has pouches in the side.
Okay.
Yours may not. It's a good possibility. Yours might be strictly a shooting vest.
Yeah. And there's a ton of dog gear that I'm not covering right now that I need to get to make sure that the dog stays hydrated, to make sure that the dog's taken care of when we're out and all that stuff. And there's dog training gear that I've already bought.
Fortunately, when you're going to run her and actually do it, it's going to be colder.
Yes.
I mean, you can't run her now.
No.
That would be terrible.
The only thing I know that in August is when they start stocking up more birds at the place that I'm going to be taking her to for training that I do with her. And it's going to be one of those things to where I'm going to get up early as I can and take her out, or wait until the sun's almost down and take her out. Yeah. And it's going to be for 30 minutes. It's not going to be the rest of the day.
A bunch of water, fans in the vehicle, fans in the truck for her because she's going to be hot.
Yeah,
really
she
hot.
is. So, but yeah, I'm excited with where I'm at now. I know that there's still some stuff that I could get, but I think that if I had to go dove hunting tomorrow, I have everything I need.
Absolutely. The only thing which you have is just a chair.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, it's some kind of chair.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken lawn chairs of any color with me. I've taken lawn chairs of any color to deer hunt with me. Like, I'm not too concerned of it's got to be this camo pattern. I'm like, no, I want to sit somewhere comfortable. And then when it's time to stand up, then I'll stand up.
Yeah. So I think that I'm covered in terms of gear. If there's anything else we can put in the description of the video or let folks know exactly what we may have left out here. But I think that if you're just wanting to get into the sport and either skeet shoot, you have everything you need with hearing, eye protection, a shotgun, some shells, and a pouch.
Yeah.
Or a vest.
And off. Lots of off.
Yep.
For September.
Yep. So, but other than that, I think you have everything you need. So I did say that we were going to talk about our kids shooting real quick. So when we were talking about ammo earlier, we were talking about our ammo for our 12 gauge.
Yep.
That is about $100 a case. Well, recently, since we have kids interested in shooting, there's also a 410 and that we are taking them out with. A 410 is just a very small. I think that the shotgun shells are about the size of a crayon, I want to say, or so.
I mean, a 410 bore is actually 0.410, so just under a half inch. And compared to a shotgun, a 12 gauge shotgun is about 3/4, and maybe not quite that big. So substantially smaller in size.
So the ammo is a little bit more expensive for that.
Yeah, which is it's weird because it's so much smaller. But yeah.
But keep that in mind when you're looking for a gun too, that the different gauges in your gun are going to dictate how much ammo costs.
Yeah. It's almost the smaller the gauge for a shotgun, the more expensive the ammo, if you actually look at it, because I think it's 410, 28, 20, and then 12 as far as price range. 12 being the lowest, but also it's the most common.
Yep. So we did take our kids out not too long ago to shoot the 410, and my daughter, she decided that she wanted to give it a try. She's my oldest. She's 12, and then your son, who's 11, your oldest, he wanted to go too. And we got them out there, and we kept them at one station.
Yeah.
One station for one box, and then another station for another box.
Yeah.
So station 1, there's a clay pigeon coming over your head, going away from you. And then there's one coming from the little house coming towards you.
Sort of towards you, to your left.
Yep. And then the other station we shot at was station 7, which is the same but backwards. It's You're standing at the low house and it's going away from you. And then the one that's above your head is now coming towards you. So we took them out shooting, and I shot the gun once or twice. And I went forward when I shot it.
It was pretty funny, actually.
I shot it, and I was expecting a recoil of some kind. And when I shot it, I felt myself go, huh. Because I guess when I shoot my 12 gauge, I'm bracing for it, or I'm accounting for it by driving forward a little bit.
You're leaning into it in an athletic position because you know you're going to get recoil.
Yes.
So you're bent forward, prepared for that.
And with the 410, I fell forward. I did not kick at all. So we get out there and we're introducing the kids to gun safety. And again, shout out to the Department of Conservation. One guy did come over and talk to us. He said, I know you all are training the kids. Make sure, because one of them shot a gun that we knew, shot their second shot.
Yeah, it was empty.
It was empty, and we knew that. And they swung it not towards us, but they swung it in our direction, aimed at the ground, but they turned towards us while holding it. And that's when they came over and said, I know you're teaching them the right things, but I saw it and I have to say something. And I respect that. I love that they did that. I'm happy they did that. I didn't feel like, mind your own business. I know what I'm doing. None of that entered my mind.
It gave us a teaching moment to tell the kids that even though we know it was empty, other people are still around. They don't know that. So it was actually a great teaching moment. So yeah, I'm thankful that they were there to step in and say something.
Absolutely. So we're out there shooting, and I'll let you tell your side in just a moment. But my daughter never really expressed interest, but I always give the same thing. If you ever do, let me know. I'd like to go, Dad, one time. Oh, let's go. And your son said the same thing, so we'll take him. We get out there, and my daughter, she is a lefty in most sports. Mm-hmm. She writes with her right hand. I have no idea. She said she's right-eye dominant. I don't know. She gets out there, and she doesn't know if she should shoot left-handed. She doesn't know if she should shoot right-handed. She's confused by it. She's kind of nervous because she didn't grow up around guns either, so it was a whole thing. And I think that in the first group of 25, I think she maybe got, I don't know if she got any, to be fair. And then the second group of 25, I think she got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
She got better. She got more confident is what it was.
Yeah, just holding the gun, knowing how to stand, understanding that when she pulls the trigger, something's going to happen and where to look. Like you could tell by the time we got done, she was a lot more confident.
Yes.
And confident in her ability, but also in the safety. Like it was, you could definitely see that.
Yep. So she did a good job. And then your son, his first time shooting, was that his first time shooting a shotgun?
That was his first time ever shooting a shotgun. So he has shot Smith & Wesson M&P 1522. So it was in a rifle. He shot that a lot. And I don't own one, but I have some friends. So he's been behind a gun, but he was aiming, not pointing. So it's a completely different setup, but he has shot. So.
Yep. And so he steps up there. We give them the intro, the whole spiel about gun safety, and here's how you shoot it. And you're standing next to him. You're like, do you want me to hold it up? Do you want me to? No, I got it. Whatever. He takes his first shot and misses, gets mad. Because he's a little competitive too.
Yeah, so my son is very much like Justin as far as wanting to win. Like, he does not like losing, and he'll try to figure out a way to win. If that means work harder, that means work harder. That's how he's going to do it.
So I think that he missed his first shot. I think he missed his second shot. But then it was his third shot.
Yeah, he busted his third shot, and he's like, oh, this is easy. I'm like, that. Okay, whatever. I mean, so he did all right the first round. I think he got 7. The first one, which is still, for never shooting a shotgun, I thought was respectable.
Yep.
And I was impressed, to be honest with you. And proud.
Absolutely.
It's a proud dad moment.
Oh, yeah. I made sure that I filmed every single shot our kids took until they broke one. So I would not miss the time they broke their first one.
Yeah, I was over helping them with the safety, how to aim, and Justin was doing
videography.
The videography, which he's much better on that end. I'm not even into that, so it works well.
If we go out shooting, our wives will get plenty of pictures from my phone from all the things we were up to.
Yeah, and my wife's like, "You don't take pictures?" No, that's not me.
Not what I do. So then that was on station 1, which is you're under the high house. So then they didn't, which the Department of Conservation was fine with. They didn't want to move. We didn't want to move them all around. They didn't want to move all around. They were just getting acclimated to the gun. So we just did station 1 and station 7.
Yeah, 2 through 6 are hard. I mean, we wanted to at least make sure they had a chance of success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we move over to station 7, and that's where your son decides that this is easier than he thought, even on station 1.
Yeah. He's like I said, super competitive. He thinks he's great at everything. And he has a lot of success. So typically on station 1, 2, 6, and 7, you do a single shot, and then you can do pairs, meaning both houses throw at the exact same time. So we get over to station 7. He thinks this is super easy. So he's like, "Dad, I just want pairs. Just pull them both at the same time." And I think he hit, is it 15 consecutive in a row?
Yeah, he hit 3 pairs in a row.
Oh, no, he hit 3 pairs in a row.
He hit 15 clays or so.
15 or 16. Yeah. It was ridiculous. And he's
now, granted, all at one station, so you only got to go to the same 2 spots at, well, typically about the same 2 spots. But the idea that he picked up a shotgun at the age of 11 and was on that streak, specifically the pair streak, which I did not understand how that was even possible.
No.
But it was pair, pull, bang, bang. Pair, pull, bang, bang. I was like, you got to slow down, man. Yeah, but he wasn't missing him.
And it's so Justin and I are looking at each other, trying not to. I mean, we're minds blown. And my son's like, "Hey, Dad, am I doing well?" And I'm trying to downplay it. I'm like, you're doing okay. You're fine. And in my head, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like what is this? This is unbelievable."
Yeah, it was fun to watch. It was really fun to watch. And my daughter was not jealous or anything like that. She was supportive of it all. And so it was fun to see them having a good time
and
with them
supporting each other, like trying to really help each other. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was a fun day.
And that's why I've only taken my child out to shoot one time in my entire life. I had a blast. It's great memories to share. And I see why this is a generational thing. I'm not sad that I missed out on it from a dad teaching me thing. I'm excited that I get to teach my kids, and I'm excited I get to teach my dad too.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm glad you're getting to enjoy that.
So
I'm glad you decided to take the journey too. I don't know. It's cool. It's fun.
And I have no problem with sharing all my mistakes. I think that if nothing else, what I want people to get out of Upland Underdog is the idea that you can not know what you're doing and have enough tools, and hopefully my website or blog or whatever you want to call it as a resource, as one of your tools to figure things out, because there is no instruction manual on all of these things. Now there's books on how to train dogs.
Yep.
There's books on, there's YouTube videos on where to stand, but it takes a village sometimes to help each other out.
Well, and anybody that has had family pass it down, it's the similar concept. They're still telling you very much like we're telling you. It's just you're hearing it from a family member, and now you're hearing it from somebody that may be unbiased. Mm-hmm. Like this is just us. We're out there just having fun, making our way through it, and I'm sure there's people that know how to do all of it much better. There's my people that are interested in like, oh, I've never tried that.
Yeah. I mean, again, every time I mention, do you want to go shooting? I haven't heard a no once.
Yeah,
no one's never told me
awesome.
No. So, well, thanks again for going down the trip of gear with me. Yeah. There's so much out there. To each their own. These are just the things that I used. If you like them, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Yeah. It doesn't bother me one way or the other, but at least you know kind of where to start and what you'll need. Mm-hmm. So that was the whole idea behind this episode of the podcast. As always, uplandunderdog.com, Upland Underdog on all the social media sites that you want to follow us on, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. So we'll be there too. Eric, once again, it was great chatting with you.
Yeah, same to you.
We will see you on the next episode.
Yep. Have a good one.